Hello everyone. Today's video will cover legal and illegal hits that occurred on defenseless players from week 7 through week 13. We have done a much better job of cleaning up the illegal acts against defenseless players. There's still work to do, and we must continue to protect our players and make the calls that are outside of the rules of our game. Okay, let's look at some plays. The first play, we're going to see an unnecessary roughness call for a blow to the head and neck area of a player who is defenseless. This is a player on the ground at the end of a play, and we do get this called. I'm going to slow it down. You're going to see the player who is defenseless after the tackle. You'll see a player comes in and delivers a forearm blow to the head and neck area. We do get this call. This is a foul for unnecessary roughness against a defenseless player. Another player who is defenseless is a player who is a receiver of a punt or a kick. You're going to see this player has not had an opportunity to protect himself, and he is hit in the head or neck area. As you can see, he's in a position to receive the kick. That element of time is not met, and he is hit in the head and neck area. This is a foul, and we do get this called. So this player must have an opportunity to protect himself before he is hit in the head or neck area. Now, had this player been hit lower in this area, this should be the target area for this player, but not in the head or neck area. It would not be a foul, but we can't go high on these defenseless players. Horse collar has been a point of emphasis for a couple of seasons now, and we still are seeing horse collars. And as you can see, inside the collar or the jersey and the immediate pull down has a huge potential for injury when this occurs outside the tackle box, which it does here. And we do get this call. This is a foul, the horse collar tackle. Let's talk about the illegal crackback block. The rule states it is an illegal crackback block if a defensive player is contacted below the waist within an area 5 yards on either side of the line of scrimmage within close line play by an offensive player who is moving toward the position from which the ball is snapped. Now, an offensive player who is aligned more than 2 yards outside the tackle when the ball is snapped is prohibited from coming back toward the football and blocking low or hitting a player in the head or neck area. That was the amended rule change that we put in for the 2012 season. So this player who is flexed, which means he's more than 2 yards outside the tackle, he cannot come in toward the ball and block low or hit a player in the head or neck area. We made the recipient of a crackback block defenseless. So let's watch the action by this player on this play. You'll see he is flexed. He comes back, hits that player in the head or neck area. That is a foul. We do have a replay. Those are the players in question. He comes back toward the ball. There it is. He has to lower his target. He cannot go below the waist, and he cannot hit this player in the head or neck area. So coaches, I encourage you to cover this rule with your receivers when they are flexed, which means they are more than 2 yards outside of the tackle position. When they come in, they have to lower their target. The strike zone is from the shoulder pads to the waist. Blindside block. Now, this is one that was not called. Here's the guy circled. He's going to jump and hit the guy in the head or neck area with the forearm. Now, this was not called, but he was fined $21,000 for this hit. But we did miss this on the field. But this is a foul for a blindside block. As you can see, all the elements are there. Moving back toward his own end line or parallel to and hitting the defenseless player in the head or neck area. The recipient of a blindside block is defenseless, cannot protect himself, cannot see the block coming. That is a foul. And this player had options. He could have pushed him or hit this player in this area. You can't hit him below the waist because it was a change of possession. But he had all this area that he could have used to approach this player, and he did not. And he was fined $21,000 for this act. Now, another point of emphasis is forcible contact to the head of the passer. It continues to be a point of emphasis. Our referees are alert to this, and you're going to see a forcible blow to the head of the quarterback. Incidental contact to the head of the quarterback is not a foul, but a forcible blow is a foul. You're going to see the replay, and this is forcible. There it is. That is a forcible blow, and that is a foul, and we do get this called. Here's another hit to the head of the quarterback. Helmet to helmet is also a foul. What we encourage our defenders to do is lower their target. We cannot lead with the helmet into that head or neck area. We must lower the target. The target area should be in this area, not up here. We must lower our target because this quarterback is defenseless. He's in the act of or just after throwing the pass. That is a foul, and it will get called, and it will be fined. Let's observe some legal action against quarterbacks. We've been seeing a lot of hits that are legal, and here are a few of them. So we are making adjustments. The defenders are changing their approach to QBs, but there's still work to do. And here are some examples of some legal hits against defenseless players. In this case, quarterback. Lowering the target. Good hard hit, but he lowered the target, didn't hit the quarterback, who is defenseless, in the head or neck area. As you can see, he lowered the target. Didn't hit him in the head, didn't lead with the head, the crown, or the forehead hairline. Use the shoulder to tackle a quarterback. Not a foul. On this play, you're going to see a good example of a legal low hit on the quarterback and a high hit on the quarterback. It's a hard hit, but both are legal. Remember, hitting the quarterback low at the knees, we encourage our defenders to swipe or wrap the legs rather than use force in the knee area. And you're going to see two players hit this quarterback, and both are legal. The guy that goes low is going to simply swipe and wrap the legs, and the player that goes high will not lead with the helmet, shoulder, or forearm into the head or neck area. It's a good job by the Kansas City defenders. You see, one guy goes low, he's just going to swipe, and the player that goes high is not going to lead with the helmet. He simply pushes the quarterback to the ground. I'll run it full speed. There it is. This is what we want against our passers who are in defenseless positions. Okay, now let's look at illegal hits for helmet to helmet against a defenseless receiver. This is what we don't want. You're going to see this player is going to approach the intended receiver and lead with the helmet. There it is, with the crown of the helmet. That is a foul, and we do want that called. And this player had options. Again, lower the target. You could hit this player in that area. But he leaves his feet and leads with the crown of the helmet, and we do get that called. There it is. That is a foul, and that will get called. Now let's look at some legal hits against defenseless receivers. You're going to see the Baltimore player is going to come in, lead with the shoulder, separate the football, hard hit. I mean, this is an aggressive play, but it is well within the rules. Does not lead with the shoulder, forearm, hairline to any part of the neck or head area. He just delivers a tough blow to separate the ball, and it is perfectly legal. This is a good job by the Baltimore defender. Another good tackle by the Dallas defender. The player on a quick pass does not lead with the helmet, does not hit him in the head or neck area, wraps him, does not drive him to the ground or stuff the receiver, Just a good hard tackle. This is the way we want these guys to play football. It's a good hard tackle. There's another replay. Lowers the target, keeps the helmet, hairline, crown out of the tackle, and wraps and brings the ball carrier to the ground. Nice job. Here's another example of a clean hit against a defenseless receiver. Lower the target, the receiver gets up, holds on to the football, celebrates, gets to go back to the huddle. But good job by the Carolina player, lowering the target, delivering a tough hit, hard hit, but legal. There it is. And we saw many of these hits in the last few weeks, and we expect to see many more from our football players. Here's another clean hit on a defenseless player. You see the Jet player is going to be waiting. He's going to separate the football. Hard hit, lower the target. Nowhere in the head or neck area. I run it slow. There it is. Lowers the target, doesn't leave with the helmet, separates the football, causes the incompletion. Just a nice job by the Jet defender. So the players all getting the message. The coaches are coaching these guys up and following the rules. All right, I just wanted to share with the group what we observed during the middle part of the season, what we saw as illegal hits against defenseless players, and we observed many legal hits against defenseless players. And I want to thank our coaching staffs for their contributions into helping us to coach the players and letting them know what are legal and illegal hits when players are in defenseless positions. Thank you, and enjoy your meeting.